Hello, everyone, and welcome to our July's webinar. I really do appreciate everyone joining today, and I hope everyone's excited to listen in on today's webinar from, of course, our lovely head of sales, Bea Candaza.
Hello, everybody. I'm very grateful that you joined today's session. I know people are coming in and I could see you guys joining. Could you guys give me a reaction if you guys are okay and safe where you are ready for this session? Wow, I'm seeing heart from Jen, a party from Abiel, thumbs up from Jessa. Okay, all good. I'm so happy that the weather is better today. So it's giving, people chance to recover at least. Thank you so much, Precious. Ang cute naman ng name mo, Precious. Precious Diamante. It's like very, very precious. It's very,
Calm. Yeah.
oo. Katuwa. Okay. I'm curious for you guys that are here, like we have a small audience, but I feel like this is very relevant. That's why you joined it. I'm curious, could you type in the chat if you are a remote worker already or not yet? So just say yes or no. Yes, if you are already working remotely, and no if, okay.
Well, we have a mix. So some yeses and nos here and there.
Just resign from my 9 to 5, Ermi. Okay. I know how that feels. Because we were growing up, we were taught that we need to have a job, and having a job is going to work and having that stability in your life, but over the years, recent years, freelance or remote work happened, and it's a concept that is not yet accepted by everybody. I don't know if you could relate, but I have in my family, like elders in my family, whenever I tell them that I'm working and I'm working through my laptop, working with them, they're like puzzled. Like, pwede daw ba yun? Like, ha? Sabi niya, pwede ba yun? Nagtatrabaho ka? Hindi ka pumapasok. So, like, for very, very old naman na to, like, your titas and titos in their 70s or 80s, hindi nila like, it's very foreign, the thought of working remote. Okay. I want this session to be very collaborative and to hear more of you. So I will be asking you questions along the way. So let's start. So I want to start by saying thank you so much for being here, and I hope you could bear being with me for, let's say, 1 more hour. And I promise that I will share as much as I can in this session. So this session is focused on transitioning to remote work. So for Ermi, did I get your name right? Yes, Ermi, who said that he just resigned from his 9 to 5. This is perfect. I wish I had this kind of talk before I actually resigned from mine, because it prepares you to what is going to happen ahead. So, Vince, could you please share the screens for us? So there, how to shift your mindset from traditional work to remote work. Do you guys know, could you give me a thumbs up if you believe in the saying, you can do anything as long as you put your mind into it? You guys believe in that? Jen gave me a thumbs up. Claire, Jessa, Sigrid, yeah. Whenever you decide on a change in your life, whether it's professional or personal, you need to check your mindset first, because mindset is very crucial. It affects your perspective. It affects your perspective and your expectations. And we have to ensure that we are on the right mindset, so that we can give our all and we could manage whatever it is that we are expecting out of this new change or new adventure or anything new that we are encountering. So it's very different. Remote work is very different from working in an office. And when you work in an office all your life, then suddenly shifting to remote, there's a lot of changes. A lot of changes. So it's very important that we know and we have proper mindset, which we will be discussing in this session. So I will prepare you I will help you prepare. I will be here in your very early days of being a remote worker. Next, please. Independence is key. Number one, we have to understand that independence is key. Lot of clients in somewhere that they hire through us because they believe one, it's quite obvious, it's more cost effective, right? But second, it's because they believe in the talent worldwide. Having said that, they are open to talents who don't have a lot of experience yet, but they would always say something like, I need somebody who is autonomous. I need somebody who is a self-starter. In a remote work setup, you cannot always rely on your supervisor. It has to be, you have to do your part, which means, let's say, in an office, you have your supervisor. Oh, I wasn't able to answer this client. I wasn't able to do this. What can you say about this? It's a lot of like that because you need their permission, you need their guidance versus remote work. You are expected to be a self-starter. What do I mean by that? Hey, I have a problem. This is what happened. These are my options, and this is what I recommend us to do. Or this is what I would want to do. What would be your final say on this? So do you get the difference between that? It offers you to be the leader of your own department or your own work style. So next is this is very important. Oh, there you go. I discussed all of this already, but yes, like what I said, it's fast-paced, it's independent, and you have to know that a lot of freelancers, they are continually improving themselves. I always tell this to my friends and to anybody who's interested in working remotely. Upskilling is the name of the game. There will always be somebody who can do better than you or who is more skilled than you, but your work ethic and your intention, your efforts will always be just you. And that will lead you to finding the right client. That is also part of independence because you also have to, have that initiative that I want to give more, I want to do more. So remember, independence is key. You are relying on your own self. Next, please. This is very important. I want to share a little personal story because I used to work in client-facing jobs wherein, you really handle customers. So I went into remote work. I joined this company somewhere after 3 months of giving birth. So when my son was 3 months old, I wanted to work. And then, for mommies here, you know how it is when you're taking care of a newborn and then, trying to build my home. There was a time that I felt like I felt very stretched. So it taught me how to manage my time more effectively. And when I say you manage your time, it's different from everybody. We have clients who actually ask, let's say they want the hire to be on their time zone, right? So if it's a US time zone, it's going to be like early morning for us, right? So it's very opposite. And some of the clients are saying, are they okay with this time zone? Can they work in this time zone? How can they function with this time zone? And I told them some hires, they prefer it because they still get to do what they have to do during the day. Meaning you can do your errands, you could bring your kids to school, go back home and sleep. By the time that you wake up, you pick your kid or you do your errands. So somehow you still get that slice of your normalcy or slice of your life. So you need to identify that, especially for those who have families in here. If you have a family, you have a child, you have a partner, or you're taking care of your parents or your sibling, it's better to sit down and talk to the people who you're living with because it matters. It matters the dynamics of your house. What is the time of the people in there? Like, what time do they work? What time do they wake up? Is your place conducive enough for you to work effectively? You need to consider all of that because it will affect your lifestyle. That's my point. It will affect your lifestyle, and you need to consider everybody that's in your life at the moment. Next, please. Yeah. So this is true. Traditional is clocking in, clocking out, and like your managers are onto you when you are not there yet and stuff like that. For remote work, there are jobs that have a time tracking software. There are jobs who just have a clock in, clock out. There are also jobs that do not have any of this. It is results based. And it amplifies your independence and your time management, because if it's results based, then you need to be able to produce results, right? It's not just productivity that I did this, I did that, but you need to produce results. So it's very important that you know when to do things. I actually tell some of my friends, you have to know your peak. For a lot of artists that I know, they are nocturnal. And I myself, I'm nocturnal actually. So I function better at the latter part of my day. Because when I wake up, my focus is my life, like my home life. Like, do we have food for today? Is my kid okay? Is the tutor here? Ganun siya for me. So my peak at work is the latter part of my day. And for some people, it's opposite. So basically, just find the right work, the right lifestyle, and the right schedule for you. Next is, so this is the third tip that we have for you, is think on your feet. Remember when I said earlier that this company is hiring remote, they want you to be a self-starter. They want you to identify the issue, provide solutions, and provide recommendation. That's how it works. Because if you just tell them, hey, they want a refund on this, you are not providing context, you are not providing your own solutions to the problem, or you are not providing any of the recommendation, then it's almost like just data entry, right? And if you are not in a data entry role, that's not good, because they hired you to work with them, to be collaborative with them. So you need to own your decisions. It's very different what I say. I used to be a flight attendant. So just for another personal story, when I was a flight attendant, so you have your class, right? You have your economy class, your business class. So regardless of where you're working, there's like one lead flight attendant. And it's the lead flight attendant deciding on things. But the thing is, we need their approval, because whatever happens, that is their mistake. Pretty much like in an office setting, your mistake is your manager's mistake. It is something because your manager did not provide support or that. However, in remote setting, it's all you. It's all you. So you need to invest in yourself. You need to make an effort to research about your client, to research about your role, to research about the trends that is within your role. Next is, I think that's the fourth. Fourth is, oh, there you go. So again, you do have your role with you, but then to put it simply, you have your role, whether it's remote setting or office setting, but what sets it apart is, for remote setting, they hire you for the value you bring in. So you have to be true to that value. For traditional setting, of course, they want you to produce result, but they're also looking at productivity, right? They need you to come to the office, and that for remote, they don't see that. They don't see the labor that you do. They only see the results that you produce or the value that you contribute. So it's very important that we also continually nurture ourselves to be able to become more valuable to the company. Next, I think that's our first is independence is key. Second is you're responsible for your own time. Third is think on your feet. And fourth is we have blurred boundaries between life and work. So I mentioned earlier that I used to be a flight attendant. I'm a mom. I'm trying to also do small businesses on the side. I'm your typical raketera, as they call it. I like to do a lot of things and I like to earn. That's the truth of it. there was a time that I'm dreaming about my work. I felt anxious about my work. That was a genuine.
Yeah.
I,
I can relate actually when I was working in a corporate setting. I come home, it's the weekend, and then I'm still dreaming of work. Oh no, what would my manager say? I think I forgot to send that email and stuff. So I could really, yeah, I could relate in that type of situation.
and I take that as a bad sign already. I feel
Yeah,
like I
it
am
is.
I am too engrossed in this environment. I mean, I feel like
Mhm.
it's too much. I'm too involved, right?
Yeah.
So what I did is I started to really compartmentalize and really manage my day. If I if I wake up, I spend 3 hours with my family working out and doing what I want. And then the next hour is when I start my work. And another thing is I wanted to share with you when I was starting work, um, I was the I think I was the first salesperson here in somewhere. So we were really, we were hitting our numbers. Everyone's happy. So then we had another member. So now there's two of us, right? And then we had a new software, we had a new operations manager that is very, very good, that really, throttled the business to greater heights. But then there was only two of us, and we cannot handle the calls or handle the leads anymore. So we weren't taking our breaks. We were like, I come in and I get 300 emails in a day. It's every
Mhm.
day. And then I get calls, like how many calls in a day? And then, we talk, my teammate and I back then, we said that, it's wrong for us not to take our breaks. It's wrong for us to render overtime because what the reason is, if we do that, our company would think that it's all okay. They will not feel the need to add more people, right? So we talk. We talk and said that, hey, we should start to respect our time. We respect our break, we respect our time, and there we added people. From that lesson alone, I realized it's nice to, do as much as you can do, but what will keep you sane is when you respect your time. If it's work time, it's work time. If it's family time, family time. Is it your break time? Your break time. When you are on leave, you be on leave. And then that's one of the things I'm actually grateful for somewhere. I had superiors that I said, I'm going to be on leave, but I'm going to be online. And he will always reply to me, you are on leave, be on leave. So I really appreciate that about him. Like, if you're out, you're out. You enjoy that. I mean, we will hold, like, I'm very happy. And I want to say, I'm very grateful to my team as well, because I always joke with them, I'm gonna be on leave, bahala na kayo sa tindahan, and everything just goes smoothly. So what I'm saying is just really respect it for your sanity and for the relationships around you. That's it. I know a lot of freelancers, they take 2 or 3 clients at the same time. I know it is out of need, and it is out of need that they have to do it, but also look into what you are exchanging for that. It could be your health, it could be your relationships with your children, with your partner, with your family, and those things actually you have to weigh. That's all I can say. I will not say this is it, this is the right one, this is not the right one, but you have to weigh what is more important to you over time. So that next, I think we have about engagement, right? Oh, okay. Yes. So these are one of like few tips. I remember I was reading this slide, assigning a designated work area away from your bed or your couch. I remember I was working on our dining table for 1 year because I don't we live in a small condominium, and then I was working a dining table, and then after a year my gift to myself was a work table. But it was still small, but
Mhm.
it made me feel different, right? And then last year, my sister gifted me a whole work area set. So she gave me a huge table, like a cabinet in here. And for some reason, it does give you that, I don't know, that vibe. I can make things happen. I could decide on big things, something like this. But what I'm saying is, you will start small, and that's okay. If you are starting from a place that everything is set, then that's great too. But whatever it is or however you start, it's the journey, it's the process. And being like wearing work clothes, assigning a designated area, if that helps you put in the mood of work vibe, then do that. So that it's true. The small habits can really help you create like solid things, and it changes your mood for the day. Traditional, it says here, commuting to work. I've been saying this to everybody. I am very, very grateful for remote work. It is a blessing. If somebody asks me what is my definition of remote work, it is a blessing. I cannot imagine, especially in the weather, I really feel bad, considering the weather, considering the transportation system that our country has. I wish people would have opportunities to have remote work, and that is why somewhere is founded. We really want to bridge the gap. We want to connect people, because to give them the opportunity to earn more or earn the same or even more, but in a less stressful environment. That's that. For remote work, again, you just have to make your place conducive, like at least a lot of our clients, especially for client facing role, meaning sales rep, BDRs, project managers, assistants, and they usually require quiet space. So that's one thing that we have to consider. Next is team engagement is different. Very, very different. Very less of your corporate politics and corporate chismes because there's no break room that you go into, and it's very different. But what I want to say about this is it's different, and you also have to consider, number one is the time zone. So remember I mentioned earlier, people have different peaks, right? So sometimes it's your nighttime, but your like the other people in your team, it's their daytime. So they're not yet there, like in their very peak mood. Next is culture. Culture, more likely if you are working remotely, you are reporting to a different nationality, or you're working with a lot of nationalities. So culture is very different. And I've experienced this, I had a teammate who said like, something like, what can you do about it? And then the person who received the message interpreted it differently. She felt like she is being questioned or she's being gauged, something like this. But I know that the person who sent the message did not intend it that way. It was really just, what can you do about it? She's really like asking like what are the options to do. So team engagement is very different, and you have to be careful. You have to remember that you are communicating via the written form. Written form doesn't have a tone, doesn't have emotion, doesn't have a face. So that message will be interpreted based on the mood of that receiver, right? Remember, I mean, with you, right? Even with your friends, sometimes a joke is funny, sometimes it's a bad joke to you. It depends on your mood. So what I'm saying, you have to choose your words. You have to be very careful of your nuances. Maybe emojis will add, it will kind
Yeah,
of
lighten the mood a little bit.
true. It's yeah, or I don't know, put something in there to ensure that's that. But you just have to ensure that you guys are on the same page. And the best way is really try to be as polite as you can. Choose your words, choose the how you say it as well. If you are the type of person that it's hard for you to express, just call them. Because when you talk to them, you hear their voice, then you know what they're trying to say, what they mean. So that's that. I think our last point for this is, can we move? Oh, okay. Yes. So like I've mentioned, it's very different. Time zone is there, interaction, activities is there. So it's very different. And there's joy to it as well, especially for people who like to, I'm working and then outside work, I'm a different person. I'm sure you are sometimes like that, or people like that, that I'm at work, this is my persona, outside work, this is my persona. So if you're doing a remote, it's very easy to you to shift from one persona to the other. And if you are introvert by nature, but you are forced to be around a lot of people, then it gives you that instant safe space or personal space, if you say. Next, I think the last one for this is after engagement, it's our collaboration and communication. I think I mentioned a lot of things earlier when it comes to how you should send your message or how you could communicate with a team. I think we could go to the next slide. Like it says here, nonverbal. So yeah, that's that. But I suggest you express it as nice as you can in the written form. If you find that hard, if you cannot express yourself well, because there are some people who are blessed with the gift of being very coherent with their thoughts. And then there are some people who find it difficult to express, right? So the best way is just call them. Their intention, they will know your intention, and it will reduce miscommunications and misinterpretations. So I just want to wrap it all again. When you are coming from an office work, deciding to go remote, I want you to really ask yourself, why are you making the switch? When you know why you're making the switch, it could be, um, your office, your current job is not working out for you. It could be the pay. It could be you want to spend more time with people, you want more control of your life, or you just want to try something new. It depends on why you're doing it. And once you know why you're making the switch, next step is please consider everybody that is in your life, because working remotely is a lifestyle. I myself had to talk with my husband, to talk with the people in our house, to integrate our lives with me working remotely. I go on family vacations and I bring my laptop. So I already tell them I'm going with you, but there are hours I'm going to work. Especially for those who are raising kids and who have partners or who are taking care of people, you need to talk to them, because having a remote work is a lifestyle. It is not going to be possible if it's just you. You will feel a lot of pressure. So it's better that you feel supported. I mean, 'di ba, mag-work ka na, hindi na sila mag-iingay. Like before you work, you can eat already. They know that you are not intentionally choosing not to spend time with them, but there are things you have to do. That's that. Next is um you have to be very open, because working remotely has different setup. You could be a contract worker, you can be a full-time worker, you can be a project-based worker, and that is one thing that remote work doesn't offer, is stability, really. It doesn't give you that, like, you don't have tenure pay, you don't have hazard pay, you don't have separation pay. Like, it depends on your contract, but most of them don't, because you will be hired under contractor. But why I'm saying you need to be open, because you will shift from time to time. And as you let's say your first remote job is assistant, it will open your eyes. One, you will know where you're good at. Two, you will know where you're bad at. Three, you will know where you want to be. And that's very important. I always say I hope that you find a remote work that works for you, because it's true. Sometimes some jobs are your stepping stones, or they are your turning points, your wake up call. I realize I don't want this data entry role. I want to be an assistant. I want to be a project manager. And the only way for you to find out, try it. Even if you say, may friend akong assistant doon, same industry, same everything, it will never be the same, because one, you have different management. Two, you have different team. Three, you have different tools. So, there will be similarities, but it will never be the same. So you have to be open that things will change at any point in time. That is, stability is not something you can get from remote work, but definitely you will find growth. when you have a growth mindset, it's fast-paced. It's always opportunity looking. You know, you find opportunity in crisis. Let's say my client is not renewing anymore because they no longer have business need, then you just treat it as okay, it's time for me to upskill and move somewhere better. Something like that. So I feel like I talk too much. Guys, so in conclusion, where is our conclusion for this? Could you move it to the next slide? Yes, so this is very true. Transitioning can take a bit of time, and being familiar with, again, remember when I said mindset will set your expectations. So once you have the right expectation, it can shorten your adjustment period because now you know that, okay, clients may change. I will be employed depending on the contract. This will be the setup. Then, you know, you will be able to adapt faster. I hope I made a lot of sense with our talk today. So I would wanna hear from you if you could share to me what kind of remote work have you been doing for those who are working remotely, and then for those who have been working, um, what is your remote work right now? Thank you for the training. I have a question regarding the job posting. I'm eager to learn why Africans are not permitted in your talent pool. So currently, somewhere is sourcing from the Philippines and from the Latin American hubs. I think we have plans to expand in South Africa. The reason is it depends on the one, we need to establish support in our hubs, meaning we have a hub here in the Philippines. We also have a hub there in Latin America to support all the hires and all the clients. Two is a lot of documentation that we just have to finish. That's why at the moment, we are only sourcing from where we have hubs. I hope I answered that, Marcus, but yes, sooner, I know that we are looking to that part of the world as well. I think that's sorry, Jadme, anything you want to say? I think that's all. I felt like I talked too much. I hope I made sense.
Yeah, I mean it's sort of like an eye opener, and with the stories that you share today, it really, helps people who are experienced yet in, remote work. So, it's really important to have that mindset. And another thing that I could share with you guys, if you haven't started remote work yet, I know it's really different. So, your compensation with the government benefits and stuff. So, it's really gonna be on your own. You'll be on your own and you'll be paying for them independently. One thing is to always make sure you'll do your research before, you get into something new, especially in remote work, because sometimes it may not be for you. Like Bea mentioned earlier, you have to really explore first for you to know if it's for you or if it's not. Sometimes it'll be the company culture. Um, this company may not be for you. Maybe your personalities really don't match, and then you try and explore other companies, and then there you thrive and you grow. And um it sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it yeah it's really
Finding
well,
the, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah,
True.
yeah. Starts with mindset, research, and then you look for the right company that would fit you.
True.
Yeah.
For everybody who stayed, thank you so much. But I want to kind of know more about you. If you could let us know, if you are working remotely already, could you please type in the chat what is your current role? And for those who are not yet working remotely, what role would you want? You know, what is the job you would want to apply for? Can we see some answers in there? What?
Yeah. Let me see. Okay.
Okay, Jimwell is a UI UX designer.
Cool. Tech is well, the tech industry is it's expanding, and with AI coming in, there is a peak with hiring for the IT industry. So yeah, that's a good path to take.
That's true. There's always a company looking for technical roles, but we don't have a lot of them yet in the Philippines. So very happy you're here, Jimwell. Melody is a bookkeeper. We have a lot of bookkeepers. I mean, like openings for a bookkeeper role. Not working yet, Rainiel, CSR. CSR is a very common role. I suggest you find your niche. Do you want to be a medical CSR? Do you want to be a property CSR? And just focus on that. Leasing related, leasing is more, oh, we have a lot of real estate people, like real estate clients. So preferably graphic designer, ooh, sales caller representative, dean, and pretty much same as the CSR. Better to decide like which industry is interesting for you. Because if it's something genuinely interesting for you, then you could be better at it. Because medical CSR, product CSR, service CSR is very different. They're different from each other. Before, I'm a weekly benefits officer, currently no work and willing to work and work from home bookkeeper. That aligns.
Yeah.
I feel like very organized.
Mhm. Ooh, we have also someone, well, haven't worked remotely yet, but he graduated as in data science. I think data analysts could be like a good role to look into. Data analysts, data specialists too. I think that's a good role to explore for
I think
someone. Yeah.
sure. I think for my almost 3 years here in somewhere, we've only ever been able to hire for one data scientist because it's very rare. I think you know that, Kenneth. It is very rare. It's very hard. So I could see here also from Ava, ongoing application for HR engagement coordinator. Ava, I hope that you get it, and I hope it's the right client for you. If you don't get it, it just means it's not the right client for you, and that's okay. That's a redirection. This
Well, we have a question from Jezreel. I have a question. I've tried to check your website and scan for openings. I've seen that there are a lot of roles available, and I wonder the jobs posted in the website are still active. I'm interested to apply for DevOps engineer. Um, well, as long as you see the job posting is active, at the bottom of the screen, you'll see there a button wherein you could click apply for the job. If you can't access the form and you can't submit your application, that means we have already put the search on hold. But if it's still posted, it means that we're currently doing the search. We have current candidates, doing the process. It's just that we're trying to limit the candidates coming in for that role because we don't want to waste your time, guys. If you wait for like 2, 3, 4 weeks until we receive an update from the client. And yeah. Also, if you haven't seen a DevOps engineer specifically for like a specific client, we also have our active pooling pipeline. For applicants under that pipeline, it's well, our senior recruiters will be checking that pipeline from time to time, depending on the role you guys would like to apply for. It it's sort of like your application is active, and we get a chance to reach out to you guys if you're interested in any positions that we have open.
Thank you, Chad. May we have a question from Venice as well? There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, it's about a request for updated information from been submitted somewhere but wasn't able to update directly on your web portal. May I ask if I would update it? Will my profile be on your pool of talents for job alignment to your clients? If you receive this email and you apply to one of our openings, this means that our senior recruiters are already checking your profile. It's just that they need to see your resume. You can you can respond to that email directly and submit your updated resume. Also, please make sure that your resumes have all of the details of your employment. Maybe add a bit of duties and responsibilities to each of your experiences. That really helps us out to gauge if you would fit the role or not, and sometimes we get to help you out and, apply for a different role. We could also suggest that if we have one. Okay, we have another question from Eileen. Do you entertain starter applicants? Do you mean someone who would be like starting their career, haven't had any experience yet? I hope Eileen's still here.
Eileen, are you still here?
I think she is. Newbie, okay. If you haven't had experience yet, like any job at all, most of our clients, well, they're typically looking for, someone who is a self-starter already. So meaning, they'd like someone to have that knowledge already for the role. So a lot of our clients are looking for someone starting from maybe at least having a year of experience, onwards, or, depending on the tenure. For situations like this, I always suggest to my candidates to um learn more about, let's say, the role you're applying for. It's an executive assistant role. Try and improve your skills there. Attend seminars or trainings about executive assistants. And then we have other options that you guys could explore as well. Because right now we don't have like options for newbies yet, but I think we're planning to do so. But of course we can't share it yet because we don't have like any directives on well, basically situations like that. But you'll hear from us once we explore that part of the remote world. But for now, we are hiring people who already are experienced with jobs. But this is not like strictly for experience in remote work. It's okay if you have experience in like corporate setting, but you haven't worked in a remote setting yet. That's okay. We don't uh we won't hinder you from applying remotely if you haven't had experience yet working in a remote setup.
Jed, I suggest to Eileen Desma, if you are a newbie, like, fresh graduate, it doesn't have any work experience at all, then you could do internships. There's a lot of freelancing groups in Facebook. You could just go ahead and, at least minimal or really just internship, at least you have something on your paper.
Yeah.
That is one way for you to gain experience. And then I want to take the two other questions, Jeremy, just because I could relate to it.
Yeah.
From Rainiel Telastas, do you have any suggestion with what type of CSR will do well with education graduate? I wanted to take this question, Rainiel, because I myself is a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Education. And I kind of started the same. I was the first client relations coordinator here. If that is your background, establishing your niche will do well for you in the long run. They say focusing on one skill is better because then your career growth, your improvement will be much faster. So for you, while we have clients in the academe, like in the educational industry, what are those? You have companies offering scholarships. We do have that as well. I think I've had clients like that myself. We have professors who have their own online training programs. So those kind of companies will do well with you. And I feel like if you're an education graduate, you have a background, you have an understanding of how tests are made, how to manage people as well, how to grade people. So research industries will do well with you as well. But you're like a clay, it can be anything. But if you're going to ask me, it will definitely be in the academic industry. So you have your professors, you have your scholarship businesses, you have your training businesses. So that's that for me. I'm going to take this question as well. I hope, Rainiel, I gave you some insights and good suggestions on that. I want to take this question also from Jen. Jen says, oh, you're still here, Jen. Hi, everyone. I work remotely as a general manager for 9 years in the barbershop industry located in BGC. I still visit once a week because the reason why I have chosen a hybrid setup, I don't have anyone to look after my 3-year-old daughter. Planning to resign. I really wanted to switch from traditional to remote one because I want to start a small business. Working remotely will give me freedom, I guess. Haha. Jen, I like this question. You know why? I have a 3-year-old myself. I have a boy who's 3-year-old. And from like what I mentioned earlier, from working in an office in the plane, in the plane, and then I moved to remote. I started to work remote 3 months after giving birth, maybe primarily because I was going through PPD. So the cure to my depression was to work. So anyway, I am telling you right now that yes, it will give you freedom, definitely. The reason why my husband allowed me to work remotely is that I still have time for him and for our kid, for our family, basically. So this is good. What I would tell you, Jen, is since you have a daughter, you don't have anyone helping you take care of her, keep your general manager role and then only transition once you find a client of your own, you know. Um, for some, we could say, hey, just let it go and explore. But for you, since you have a little one that you are responsible for, you need that stability. You need the assurance that money will come in. So stay that in your hybrid setup, but also explore the remote options, and it will give you really the freedom. I also started a small business, so whenever I receive, I mean, I'm lucky that we do get Christmas bonuses, like year-end bonuses. So whenever I receive my year-end bonuses, I put it into a small business. Started like a home fragrance small business. Now I have a home massage business. So things that I could just manage even when I'm working, even when I'm on my own, and even if I have a 3-year-old son. So you could do that. And freedom, not only with your time, but also with the kind of person and professional you want to be. Because owning a business, working remote, you will grow. You will grow. It will be uncomfortable at first, for sure. But it will be worth it. So if it's you and your daughter at home, you need to train them. My 3-year-old son, sometimes he comes here and says hi to my team, even when I have a meeting with my boss. And of course, my boss are, they are of different nationality. I'm not sure if that's, but anyway, I trained my son like when I'm working, he needs to stay just in front of me and wait for me to finish. So you will have that with your daughter as well. You need to train them as kids. So now my son tells everybody, be quiet, mommy is working. So now he knows. um, that's that. Oh, Jen says, I have 2 kids. The eldest is 12-year-old. Also, that's great. The 12-year-old could actually help you, but of course, just be there as well. Does somewhere have day shift opportunities too? Sorry, Jadme, I just went through all these questions.
Okay.
Hold on, let's do this. Pauline says she applied and she got rejected. She was not able to make it to the final interview. Can I still apply or should I wait? I think she can already apply, right? There's no need to wait.
Yeah. As long as it depends on the email that you're receiving. Unless it states there that you have to wait for like 3 months or 6 months or 1 year. If it's not stated and then they just say that you're not fit for the role that you're applying for, yes, you can reapply. For example, you received the email today, you could even apply after a few hours, and then once you check and you see that you're interested in one of the roles, you can reapply. You don't have to wait for like a few months.
So I hope, Pauline, you could just submit because um it's really just, I would just say it's timing. The fact that you were interviewed means, you qualify, right? That's why you applied and you were interviewed. That's just it. Because if you were not qualified, then you will not be interviewed at all. So I would just tell people it's really just timing. And again, it's redirection. You want to pray more than praying for, I want to get a remote job. Also pray for the right client because that matters a lot. That will really, that's really the important thing. Marcus from Ghana, Africa. Yes, we are hoping to expand there. I know that we have plans to do so. So we'll keep you posted. Please follow our social media pages so you know. Here you go, Cyrus. Does summer have day shift opportunities too? Actually, yes. I would say yes to this already because there are even some roles who are results based or product based, especially if it's more on the creative side, like your graphic designer, video editor. So they just, tell you how many they need. Depends on the client time zone as well. Ang cute naman ng name niya, Lord Gonzaga. I feel like it's Sunday already. So, do you still have legal roles? Already applying at somewhere for 2 times and only as of now, no update yet from the firm, but I did not pass. Even if they did not pass, they should receive an email, right?
Yes. Try and follow up with the person who conducted the interview. You could actually see their email and the invitation, so you could like follow up with them. You're supposed to receive an email after the interview, whether you pass or you fail. You have to receive that email. You could also send a message to our help desk. You can find a link to it on our socials. We'll share the socials later. You could also follow up with them. I will sincerely apologize ahead of time that you haven't heard back from the person who interviewed you. Rest assured we'll get this set up. Just reach out to our help desk and then they'll follow up internally. And I also suggest to send an email along with that follow-up just to make sure. Okay. And he also has another question about legal roles that would fit his skills and experiences. I know we have a couple of openings, but it's being assigned to different people, so I really can't say which roles they are. But roles are always coming in. I suggest to also check our website. We are always updating that. We also post on LinkedIn and Facebook for our openings, so you could also check that out. We include a link to it, so you could also apply directly to the job that you see.
Yep. I think that's all the questions we received for this. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me and Jedmay for being very participative. I hope that we somehow gave you an idea on how it is to transition, what kind of, what remote work asks from you. Because it is a trade. And I hope that you find really it's like a tagline right now for me. I hope you find a remote work that works for you, and I hope that somewhere is going to be part of that transition.